Hey everyone, it's Kat and I am back today to do a liquid lipstick wear test. So this is a series of mine. I do them every other week. I do have a whole playlist. I'll list it up in the corner. I'll also list it in the description box and at the end of the video. So if you do want to see my other videos, that's where you find them. But also at the end of the video, I will put like a list of the products that I've used and where they all like kind of rank, so like a tally board. So today I am testing out an Australian one. This is well known to the Australian drugstore makeup loving population. So this is by Australis. These came out years ago. I remember they first came out with 4 shades. There was a red, a purple, a bright pink and a bright orange. I bought the bright pink and bright orange, and I'm going to be completely honest with you and tell you that they put me off matte liquid lipsticks for years because they were so bad and chunky. Now, I don't have those anymore, thank God, but I did hear that the newer shades that they've been bringing out since, which they've got a huge variety of shades, that the formula is a lot better. So I picked up one of these. This is in the shade, so I picked up the shade Buda-Pash. Don't like the name, but I picked it up in a sale not that long ago, and that's what I'm wearing on my lips, and that's what I'm testing out today. So if you don't know how my liquid lipstick wear tests work, I will check in throughout the day. I will check in after not eating or drinking like for an hour or 2. Then I'll check in after I've eaten to see what it looks like through eating. And then as long as a liquid lipstick will wear, I will keep checking in. So some of them get cut off at the 3-hour mark, some of them go all the way to like the 10-hour mark. It just depends on the product. So the Australis Velourlips, you can get them at Priceline or anywhere that stocks Australis. They're very, very, very accessible in Australia, very affordable. I'll put the price on the screen. I did buy this 40% off because I tend to buy drugstore products when they're on sale, and this has a huge range of shades. So they really, really have expanded the range. They bring out limited edition shades like greens and blacks and strange colors, and they also are recently bringing out metallic ones. They are going very, very, very crazy with this range because it is a very popular range if you want a liquid lipstick at a very affordable price. So personally, I know from experience that I don't love these. I don't love how it wears. I'll show you me applying it and then I'll tell you what I think about it. Okay, so the best thing in my opinion about this is the scent. It has like a really kind of strong, sweet, sort of fruity scent, which a lot of people won't like, but I do like. But I must admit, I don't like how this applies. So it is a very creamy consistency and it's not super pigmented. So the problem with being not super pigmented is you feel like you need to put on a couple of layers. And I did put on sort of like 2 layers and it still isn't opaque. It's not like a full bold color. You can definitely see that it's a bit patchy in certain areas, and I think that's a little bit disappointing, especially with liquid lipsticks that dry really matte. The more you put on them, the kind of chunkier and more uncomfortable they become. It's the liquid lipsticks that tend to be a lot more liquidy or thin on application and only need 1 coat that tend to last quite a long period of time. So I didn't love this for the opacity. So I really don't like that moussey consistency because it makes it harder to get that really precise, bold lip going on. This is the type of lip product that would definitely benefit for if you went in with like a lip liner first and lined your lips and even colored it in and then applied this over the top. It would look a lot better because it would be bolder and it would also be more precise. Whereas I was really struggling getting the lip line to look quite sharp and quite precise. So on first impressions, when I was just applying this, I don't really like the formula. Right now, it feels like a normal liquid lipstick. It's not anything too dry or too chunky or too uncomfortable, but I only just applied it. So I will check in a couple of hours. I will do the kiss test and it has a little bit of marking, but not too much. So definitely is a transfer proof, definitely is very matte, and it went matte relatively quickly as well. So yeah, definitely pros and cons with this, but I don't really have super high hopes. Okay, so we're nearly at the 2-hour mark with no eating or drinking. I'm gonna have to do the check-in now because I'm having a coffee with a friend very shortly. But this is what it's like after nearly 2 hours of wear, and it looks pretty good. So the color has stayed. It is getting that kind of inner rim. So that kind of distinct line between the wet part of the inner part of your lip and the dry part of the outer lip, and it is getting a little bit kind of like, it looks a little bit chunky and looks like it's cracking a little bit on that line. Also, I have to say that the lip line, it looks really messy and almost scrappy, and that's because of that kind of creamy formula not being able to get that really distinct kind of shape. It looks a little bit, almost starting to look a little bit fuzzy on the outer part. So it looks good from a distance. It's just that when you start to like do stupid things with your mouth, you can see stupid things. But I think the real test is what it looks like after I've been eating and drinking. So I'm going off to have a coffee now and maybe something to eat, and I'll check back in after I've done that so you can see how this wears after you've eaten. Okay, so it's been about an hour and 20 minutes since I last checked in. Since then I have had lunch. I went out and I had a salad roll and a Coke Zero through a straw. So nothing too crazy, nothing too strenuous, nothing at all oily, and my lips are looking like shit. I got in the car and I was like, oh my God, that's so embarrassing that I was out in public looking like that. It also definitely transferred onto my chin when I was biting into my roll. So it's not like one of those really, really, really firm, kind of no budge lip products. It definitely does kind of transfer, and this is just the lip test there. And if you smear it, like, a lot comes off. So this I don't love, and I have tried other colors. Like I said, I tried the old colors and I didn't love those either. Those were even worse than this. At least this is a lot more comfortable and kind of grips to the lips, whereas the original colors I tried, which was a bright orange and the bright pink, they were really crumbly and really, really chunky. So I'm going to end the wear test here because this, I wouldn't wear this in public, and that's kind of my test. If you look in the mirror and think, shit, I need to either take that off or reapply it, then the wear test is done, and it definitely got to that stage straight after lunch. So I don't love this. I think in the scheme of things, it is definitely one of the worst liquid lipsticks I've tried. It is definitely one of the cheapest as well. So, you know, it definitely has some perks. The pros are there's a nice color range, they're very easily accessible, they're pretty affordable, and definitely you can find them on sale often, so they're even more affordable. And they're also, like, I believe they're cruelty-free and vegan. I think, don't quote me on that. It smells nice, and it also is quite comfortable. I didn't once feel like, oh, my lips are so dry and feel so cracked and disgusting. It's not like that. And if you do wear this without eating and drinking, it looks fine. So it is definitely an okay liquid lipstick, but in the scheme of wearing it throughout a whole day where you are eating and drinking, it kind of fails for me. So the definite cons for me is the fact that it is not very pigmented. It's a very moussey consistency, which means that it doesn't apply very precisely. You kind of have to, like, it's almost too dry to apply in a nice way. It definitely needs some building up to get more of an opaque finish, and also it doesn't wear very well once you've had something to eat or drink. So those are the main cons, which are pretty standard. It happens. But I think this is a type of lipstick that I would recommend to people if you're trying matte liquid lipsticks for this first time. You don't want to spend too much money. You want to be able to find them in store in Australia, swatch them really easily, buy them on sale. And they're not bad. They're not bad when it comes to comfort. It's just that they look horrible after you've eaten. So that's that. When it comes to ranking this liquid lipstick with all the other ones I've tried, I'm tempted to have it on par with Jeffree Star, because the one that I tried I really didn't like. I found that one very, very drying. It was very uncomfortable to wear. It did wear off really patchy. and it is more expensive, of course, but that one at least did cling to the lips a lot better. It doesn't smear and smudge like this one does. And that one at least was opaque and applied really nicely. So I think it's sort of on par, but it makes it hard. Which one's better? I think if you just look at the product, I do think that the Australis one is a little bit worse than the Jeffree Star one. Also, I've heard some good claims about other shades of the Jeffree Star liquid lipsticks, whereas I have personally tried other shades of the Australis Velourlips, and they are even worse than this one. So I am going to say that it is just under Jeffree Star. So they definitely kind of hover around the same point. And I definitely think they're sort of as bad as each other, but for completely different reasons. Jeffree Star one is really expensive. It wears off patchy, but it does stick to the lips really well, and it's reasonably opaque and nice to apply. This one is kind of rubbish to apply, not very opaque, definitely needs a lip liner, but it is super cheap and it is a lot more comfortable than the Jeffree Star one. So they're kind of as bad as each other. It just depends on what you prefer in a liquid lipstick, but yeah, it's going to be the third worst, unfortunately. So yeah, that's me testing out the Australis Velourlips liquid lipstick wear test. Let me know what you think of this range. I know it's a very polarizing range. Some people love it, some people hate it. And let me know what you want to see me try out next in my liquid lipstick wear test. See you guys.